In the first activity, students will participate in inquiry-based exploration using multimeters. First, they will learn to measure voltage with multimeters, and then they will measure the voltage of the panels using the multimeters in varying different lights, inside and outside. Finally, they will put that all together and discover that a solar panel acts just like a battery when in direct sunlight.
First, demonstrate to the students how to use the multimeter. Plug the black, negative cable into the middle socket labeled COM. Plug the red, positive cable into the right socket labeled volts, ohms, and milliamps. Check that each cable is fully inserted by pressing down firmly. Next, turn the dial to 20 volts as shown in the close-up. Finally, touch the red tip to the positive end of the battery and the black tip to the negative end. The display should read around 1.5 volts. If the students reverse the polarities, then the voltage will simply be negative 1.5 volts. When finished, turn the dial to the off position before removing the cables. Give the students 15 minutes for exploration with the panels. The students may find that the solar panel produces nearly 1.5 volts in any light, whether it is sunlight, cloudy, or indoors, but only powers the motor when in direct sunlight. This is because only sunlight produces enough current for the motor, even though the other conditions produce enough voltage. Although this module only addresses voltage and not current, you can explain this to your students if they question why the motor won't run even with 1.5 volts.
At the end of some exploration time, once the students have sort of begun to wind down, bring them back and ask them what they learned about the panels. Have them provide you with various observations and write their observations on the board. Ask them what conclusions they've drawn from this. In the end, if they have not come up with on their own, explain to them that the solar panels, when in direct sunlight, act just like the batteries, and both can be used to power the motors. They'll use this information later on when they're designing their solar cars.